try and beat the Eagles to win another Super Bowl?
Yeah, no, I mean, they're a great football team. I've watched them all year long. Great quarterback, great entire team, man. It's going to be a great challenge for us, but I'm going to celebrate this one first. So I'm going to make sure I get back on my team. I don't think we have any cigars, but we'll be ready to go at the Super Bowl.
It's like Mahomes.
Yep.
That's unbelievable. It was awesome to watch. Travis Kelce, we'll get into him. His post-game antics were deserving and entertaining, and all the things wrapped up after an unbelievable game. We've had a night to sleep on this one. Big takeaways from the Chiefs win that sends them to another Super Bowl, Peter.
Mahomes had a little salt there, too. The cigar line is in regards to what the Burrow and those guys did at Arrowhead last year. So
for Mahomes, that's a lot.
You know, Mahomes does not give you a lot of that.
That is for him. That is the attitude era, doing this thing.
Exactly.
Like,
he's doing the DX thing.
You know what I'm saying? Not for him, that was the 10 out of 10.
That stuff hit, all that, you know, the mayor and all that stuff, and we're going to get to it. I thought this was a complete team win from the Chiefs, and to me, this was one of these things where, like, Burrow versus Mahomes, and then when it mattered most, you had no Juju Smith-Schuster, you had no L'Jarius Sneed, you had no Willie Gay, you had no McCole Hardman, Kadarius Toney goes out with an injury, and you're looking around and you're like, yeah, it's Mahomes, yeah, there's a version of Kelce, but I'm not sure Marcus Kemp was supposed to be the guy in a big spot in the fourth quarter. And I don't know if Noah Gray is supposed to be in on every snap or if number 24, Sky Moore, is going to be there. I look at the way that these guys stepped up, and I start off with the big free agent signing that, you know, Marquez Valdez-Scantling was a Packer for many years and then signs with the Chiefs and had a career day. And it was because he had to have a career day.
It's big.
You go through these, they have 10 receivers on their depth chart. 7 of them were unavailable. And so Valdez-Scantling's like, just put it all on me. And he was awesome. You've got him stepping up, and then you go to the Sky Moore return. I mentioned it during the highlights. Sky Moore bobbled 3 punts this season as a coveted draft pick that they thought they were going to get a lot out of. I think a lot of Chiefs fans are like, why is he back here in the most reliable play of the game, the biggest play of the game? I don't trust him. And he has the huge return. The win probability, which we always laugh at, went from 39% to 51% on this one punt return. Took it all the way back here. It got him in position. And last but not least, Joshua Williams is a rookie. And then you've got this other Jalen Watson is a rookie who does the defensive backs. 2 rookie defensive backs up against Joe Burrow, making huge plays at the end of the game. So to me, everyone had to step up. This came from every piece of the depth chart. All 53 men, whoever was active in this game was going to have to play a role, and they all did. We'll get into Mahomes. We'll get into the salt. We'll get into all this stuff, and I know you guys were going to hit it all from all angles. But to me, this was like every player needed to play a role, and the Chiefs emptied the tank with everything they possibly had as far as roster management and getting the most out of these guys. Unsung heroes inside and out, and of course Mahomes when it mattered most.
Yeah, when you mentioned the Williams interception, what I loved about that was earlier in the game, fourth down, they throw it up to Jamar Chase, the same exact route. Then they go to it on the other side to T. Higgins. Chiefs adjust, they make the play there. And there was a guy on the Chiefs that I'm looking at where it goes into the playoffs, and he's dominant all seasons, never had a sack in the playoffs. And he said it before the game, hey, I'll see you guys on Sunday at Burrowhead. Chris Jones was unbelievable in that game last night. He was all over the field, and he set the tone for the Chiefs up front because they got after Burrow. It was either him, Frank Clark. We saw George Kalafis get his sack, and it was the 4th one of the game early on, and he looks at the camera, and he's counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and it kind of let you know what it was going to be last night, and they hit Burrow a ton of times, hit him 12 times in that game. Chris Jones, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 5 QB hits himself. And for this game, you look at the Cincinnati Bengals, they had the Chiefs' number. In 3 games, they only sacked him 6 times. And then you look at that game last night, that was kind of the telltale for them. They were able to get after Burrow. Late in the game, he wasn't able to make the plays because there was too much pressure in his face. And it was almost like you flash back to last year, even as they went on that Super Bowl run, it was like they're finding ways to win even though Burrow's getting hit a ton of times. When it catches up to you, when it catches up to you. And last night, the Kansas City Chiefs was like, it is our night. Burrow had nonsense. No, we're going to hit your quarterback, and he's going to feel us the entire night.
The Chiefs were a better team. Chiefs, the better team won last night. They were demonstrably the better team for 3 quarters, in fact. The 4th quarter got very strange and sloppy, and it was the Gene Steratore quarter. The officiating was bizarre.
Not Turbert, it was...
No.
Steratore.
It was like, Steratore, I think, spoke in the game more than Nance did. Like, it was an incredible thing at the end of the game. But the Chiefs were the better team, and I think that with this game, game the legacy will come down to is the final 2 drives for the Cincinnati Bengals. I thought Evan Washburn did a great job in pointing out on the Bengals sideline that, you know, Burrow usually just sits there and he's stoic. Yeah. He gets up and he's screaming at his offensive lineman. That's very unique for Burrow. It's just not his act on the sideline. And it seemed to be the subtext was, guys, we're going to get the ball 2 more times, and then we got to go to the Super Bowl. This is it. This is on us. We can win this game. Their 2 final drives were 2 plays. It was a punt and interception. Out. 12 plays, interception, punt, Cabo. That was it. That's how the season ended for the Bengals. Their best player was out there. They were not without their receivers. There's Chase. There's Higgins. There's all the running backs. They couldn't get it done. They couldn't get any points going. They threw the long pass that's intercepted. And then at the end, when the Chiefs defense needed to make a play, it's this. Bam. Give me it. Sit down. It was an almost perfunctory sack, and was Chris Jones moonwalked into the backfield and just bear hugged Joe Burrow. They couldn't protect him. They couldn't score. Burrow had the ball. He's in. Burrowhead. He's in front of the crowd. He's got Chase. He's got Higgins. They had no points. Those last 2 drives, I think that, and then the penalty, which we'll get into with the roughing the passer, that's what haunts you in the offseason. It's not that the chances were taken from them. They weren't, I don't think, screwed out of opportunities. They had 2 big opportunities, 0 points, Cabo. That's it.
Last 2 drives, Cabo, which feels very differently to Brittany Mahomes tweeting last night, Cancun on 3. Because the Mahomes she did. They get to celebrate properly now because they have 2 weeks before they get to go to a Super Bowl. So was her husband, and I kind of liked it. Man, Patrick Mahomes, the statistics, the numbers, you look at it. If you are simply somebody who doesn't want to watch the games, I'm sorry for you. The games are unbelievable. Just look at the box score. He's remarkable. But when you watch him play, good leg, bad leg, terrible ankle, torn ankle, doesn't matter, injected ankle, which it was not, unbelievable. This play in particular happened at 8:40 p.m. He's rolling out to his left. You can just tell all of a sudden that was the first sign we saw of alleged weakness in that ankle that he suffered a high ankle sprain 7 days ago. We've been seeing him running around at practice. He's been looking fine. Looks uncomfortable. He's like, I got to get to the sideline. It hurts. It hurts. 9:59, so an hour and 19 minutes later, this young man is still playing on this bad ankle, and that's when he rips off that 3rd down run to set them up for the field goal when he takes the late hit. What I also loved about the late hit was his body language on the sideline. He takes it, he's laying there. He's not looking, he's not standing there with the hand on his hip like, throw the flag, throw the flag. He just gets rocked out of the sideline, lays on his back to slide, and is like, yeah, okay, I know I got us there. Look at him. He's just like, yep, that's fine. He knows it's going to be called, but I have a pet peeve with, oh, call the flag, call the flag. Can't believe they just said to me, nope. He's like, I did what I had to do to get it done. Then when the kick is going on, did you guys catch the shot? He's standing on the sideline. He's like, please, Harrison Butker, make this kick. I don't think I can give it another overtime. I know he would have. That ankle looked like it hurt him. He's got 2 weeks now to take care of business. But Patrick Mahomes was unbelievable. He accounted for nearly 80% of all yards that the Chiefs had on offense, even though he was down 1 leg. It was an unbelievable day for him.
It really was an unbelievable defeat. We'll watch as the kick goes up. Logan Wilson, the middle linebacker for the Bengals, is standing there, and he does not turn. He just knows, and he kind of puts his head down, and he knows the season is over. Tough loss for the Bengals. Really tough. They had their shots.
We're going to talk about the other game that was played yesterday in the NFC Championship in just a couple of minutes. But right now, Ian Rappaport is going to join us. Rap Sheet, let's talk San Francisco. The 49ers were disappointed yesterday in their loss, but their defensive coordinator could be getting some good news soon.
Should be getting some good news. DeMeco Ryans, who late this week emerged as the favorite for the Houston Texans head coaching job. Of course, his season is over, his team's season is over, which is all bad, except it does clear the path for him to be named the Houston Texans head coach at some point later in this week. Here's where it stands. He is considered to be the favorite. The Denver Broncos, who also had significant interest in DeMeco Ryans, after interviewing him, they have received indication that his attention is headed elsewhere. Houston, of course, where he played, a former second-round linebacker and a former captain there. So he's going to do a second interview with the Texans this week, assuming all goes well, and it should. He'll be named the Texans' next head coach, the second hire of this cycle. Meanwhile, in coordinator news, the Dallas Cowboys and Kellen Moore yesterday afternoon became official. They have parted ways, which really is not a surprise. Mike McCarthy indicated as much late this week, but now official. But it all sounds like there was everything in the works beforehand. From what I understand, the Chargers received permission to speak with Kellen Moore before he and the Cowboys parted ways. Wheels are in motion. He is expected to be very much in the mix for the Chargers OC job. Could end up be the one pulling the strings for Justin Herbert in Los Angeles.
And Nice.
Wow, very interesting rap sheet. I know, right? News on a Monday. Thanks, Rap. Talk to you in a little bit.